Hey guys, it's Thomas and Lindsay, FTW, Diesel and Diesel 10 FTL here. And today I'm going to show you my experience when I saw Big World, Big Adventures, the movie. So yeah, I saw it in View Cinema with my friends. And it was, let me tell you about it. So the plot of the movie is where Thomas was trying to shun some tankers, and Gordon teases him, and then he accidentally derails the tankers, and yeah, and Thomas was thinking of him going round the world, and Gordon teases him about it, and he said, "Look around you, Thomas. This is your world." And yeah, and then there was a race car named Ace who was on the mainland getting to Sodor, and he meets the Flying Scotsman, and Flying Scotsman says, "Where did he come from?" And yeah, and then Ace jumps over the fence and then on to the railway tracks to Sodor. And then he was on the tracks, and then Sydney was coming in his way, and he and Sydney almost had a severe accident, but thank God it didn't happen. So, like Thomas crashed into Norman in the Great Race, which Ace sped past him, and yeah. And meanwhile, Sir Thomas asks Thomas to collect some fish to bring them to Vickerstown. And then and the funniest thing in the movie is where he puts the express to Gordon. Yeah. And then he goes on his branch line. And yeah. And then Gordon goes to Vickerstown, and he has the fish right behind him. And then Flying Scotsman was teasing him, and Gordon yelled out, "Thomas!" And then Thomas meets Ace at Farquhar and told him about what he was doing. And then Bertie comes up and says, "Excuse me." And yeah, and then he asks Sir Tom Hat that he wants to go round the world, and Sir Tom Hat won't let him because he has to work on his branch line. Well, in Journey Beyond Sodor, he said he can swap engines around. That's what a railway controller does. He didn't go and look for Thomas in Journey Beyond Sodor, so why did he look for him in this movie? James went to look for Thomas in last year's movie. This happened in last year's movie as well. Sir Thomas didn't look for him. James did. And then Thomas goes to docks. It was probably in a deleted scene. We're not. And then they sang a song about "Where is Thomas?" And yeah, we've got lots of characters in the song. And then Emily told Sir Tom what happened to Thomas, in which Carly put him onto a ship. And then Thomas arrives in Africa, in Kenya, and he meets Nia, and he delivers a train. And yeah, I'm not going to be explaining the whole plot, but yeah. Well, what I think about this movie, it was, to be honest, guys, I actually kind of like this movie. Don't get mad with me. It's my own opinion. But if you hate this movie, you know the drill. Yeah. And Thomas gets to go around the world for the first time. And he sees some characters from the Great Race. Sadly, the only characters from the Great Race that appeared in this movie were Yongbao, Carlos, Vinny, and Rajiv. Even though Vinny and Rajiv didn't speak, but Carlos spoke to Ace, and yeah. And there were some unnamed characters as well. And some characters were actually reused from other characters. Yeah. And also, the biggest highlight in the movie, Sam from the videos is in this movie. Well, he didn't have a big role. He just passed Thomas, Nia, and Ace. And yeah. And then at the end, the engines wondered where Sir Topham Hatt was. And they said, where in the world is Sir Topham Hatt? Or where in the world is the Fat Controller, or whatever. And Sir Topham Hatt was gone looking for Thomas. And then he spoke to Ace where Thomas was. And then, boom, the credits went up. Yeah. But if you hate this movie, I respect your opinion. This movie is a really good pilot to Big World, Big Adventures, the series, which is coming out in September. And yeah. And after that, we went to McDonald's. And yeah. I had a great time. And before the movie, thank God, thank bloody God, they didn't play the Teen Titans Go to the Movies trailer. If they did, then I'd be so cross. Yeah. But I'm very glad they didn't. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. I really like the new characters. Some of them I don't really care about, but still, they look pretty interesting. And some characters are actually reused for other characters. Yeah. And yeah. Mr. Percival was the controller when Sir Topham Hatt was away. Yeah. And I didn't know why Thomas didn't see Ashima. But Ashima wasn't even in the movie, sadly. Could be nice if we saw Ashima as a cameo and she could speak in the series. She'll probably appear in the TV show, but we'll see. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say. Like I said, if you hate this movie, then I respect your opinion. Anyways, so that's all for now. Stay tuned for some more videos coming up soon. And this is me signing off.